Hi everyone, my name is Vijay and welcome back to my YouTube channel Pick Up Pencil. So in any programming language, we cannot expect a program to produce an output without providing any inputs, and Java is no exception. Inputs are very essential to process the data and produce some meaningful output. So in today's video, we are going to learn about 4 different ways in Java to provide an input to a program and how those 4 different ways can be different to one another. So let's do that.
So there can be n number of ways in Java by which we can have inputs provided to our Java program. But in today's video, we are going to learn about 4 types of methods by which we can provide inputs to our Java program. So we are going to talk about these 4 ways one by one. We're going to talk about them, what they are, how we can achieve providing our Java inputs with the help of them, and we are going to learn it while looking at the program as well. So first one is by using function arguments, then second one is InputStreamReader class, third one is with the help of scanner class, and the fourth one is a command line argument. So basically, even though there are 4 different types of ways, but remember, all of them has the same goal, and that goal is nothing but to have a way to provide input to your Java program. So when it comes to providing inputs to your Java program, you are free to use any one of these 4 ways which better suits you. But in today's video, we are going to learn about all of them. So let's move ahead and take a look at providing inputs via function arguments. So I'm moving on to next slide. So when it comes to providing inputs through a function argument, we know that we have a class in Java, and the Java class will have a different function. Functions are nothing but the methods, and those methods should have some parameters or some arguments. So basically, those methods can do some calculation for us, and we have to provide our input variable as a part of function arguments. So we are going to look at it in detail in our program later on. But let's understand that this happens during the execution, right? Because our function will be calculated. Those inputs will be calculated during the execution of the program. When programs actually runs, then the calculations happens on those inputs while the execution step. And the second point about this here is variable must be as function argument. Yes, of course, because variable should be a part of function argument. That is the only way we can have them, we can use them in the functions body. So I am heading towards the editor, and we are going to see the example of how to use function arguments to access inputs in Java. Okay. So I'm here. I've already created a class here. The class is I've given a name as area of shape. So basically, in this class, what I'm trying to do is I am trying to calculate an area of rectangle. Okay. So here we are going to learn how we can pass the input by using the function argument. So we already know how to create a class in Java. So it's here, and then we have a main method, which basically entry point for our program. Then I have just created an object of this class like this. And so if we see it here, what we are trying to do is this is the main piece we are right now concerned about. This is our function or method, and there is a piece of calculation which goes inside this method here. If you take a look at here, right, the function name is calculate area of a rectangle, right? And if you look inside here, what I'm doing is there is an integer called area of rectangle, and we are calculating area of rectangle equals to length into width, and then returning area of rectangle. So if you see, there is a piece of calculation happening here, and these two variables, length and width, these are nothing but input provided via the function argument. So this is the example of this whole case. So how input provided in the function, in the method function, in the functions argument, we are accessing them in the calculation. So if you see it here in the main program, we have length 25, we have width 10, right? And then we have area. So while calculating the area, we are calling this method here, calculate area of rectangle, which is here. And then we are inputting length and width as a part of function argument. So this is how we have seen the example of how we can do it. And if I run this program here, we'll have length as 25, we'll have width as 10, and then while calculating the area, it goes here, it calls the function length and width as a argument, and it goes here and do the calculation on this. And if you see, the area of rectangle is 250. So it's just a quick example explaining how you can provide inputs to your Java program by using the function argument. Okay, so I think that's good enough example for this. So I'm coming back to the slide, and let's move on to our second way of providing inputs to our Java program. So the second one is by using InputStreamReader class. So again, I'm saying this, these are the number of ways, but the ultimate goal is same, to provide input. So we are looking at different ways of providing inputs to our Java program. So this is also one of the way, right? It's called by using the class InputStreamReader. So InputStreamReader is a class in Java. It's provided by Java. Java already has this class in their package, and it's available in the Java IO package. So package is nothing but in Java, a lot of classes which are built in by Java will be a part of one common package. So InputStreamReader is a part of java.io package. So needs object to be created off, right? So whenever we want to process our inputs by InputStreamReader class, we have to do two things. First, we need to create an object of InputStreamReader class, and then create another object of BufferReader class. So we are going to take a look at it in our example next. And then once you have the objects available for these two classes, then you have to invoke built-in methods like readLine, read. These methods you have to invoke so that you can have input available for your program. Okay, so let's go back to our editor again, and write, in order to look at this example, processing input with the stream classes, I have already created this. In order to save some time, I have already created this class, but we'll go to the whole code what I have written. So the class name is area of shape. It's the same kind of concept here, but instead of just hard coding these values here, what we'll do is we'll try to process them. We'll try to input them through our stream class. So I'm opening this class here. So let's look at this class one by one, more closely. So this is the first line. You already know this is nothing but we are just creating a class here. Then we have a main method here. Main method is nothing but for a single entry point for our method, for our class. Then we have created an object of this class, this own class here. You already know that how to create an object. So after that, as I explained in my slide, in order to have an input through this InputStreamReader class, right, we need an object of these two classes. So that is what I have done here. So create an object. So whenever you want to create an object, we say new keyword. So InputStreamReader, I have given this object name here, equals to new InputStreamReader, and then pass system.in. So this is how in Java you create an object of InputStreamReader. And secondly, we'll have to create an object of BufferReader and give an object name as in. So these object name, you are free to give anything you want, but you will have to use accordingly. So we have already created those two objects. Now, the second thing what we are trying to do here, right? In the previous example, we have these length and width hard coded, but what we are trying to do here, we'll take it as from the user, like the user input. So we'll run this program. This will ask values from the user. Enter length of the rectangle, and then, right? So let me run this program here. So, okay. Right click, I'm going to run this. So what's going to happen here, if you come here, I've run this program, enter length of the rectangle. So instead of hard coding, it is asking us what is the length of the rectangle. And I've given here 20. Okay. So now the moment I typed in 20 here through this, if you see here, right, this line here, please look at this line here, int length. So length integer dot parseInt in dot read line. So first of all, why we have to do integer dot parseInt? So basically whatever we put here as a prompt in the console, right, this 20, by default it is string, and we have to convert this into a string because our length is data type as int. So that is why, in order to convert this 20 as an integer, so you might say that 20 doesn't look like a string. It should be an integer, yes, but whatever we put it here, it always by default string, and that is why we have to make sure that whatever is coming here, whatever we are assigning into length variable, that is a integer type. That is why we say integer dot parseInt, and then we say in dot readline. So in is nothing but the object of buffer reader class, and there is a method readline we have to use. Remember from my slide, method like readline we'll have to use. So what does it is doing in dot readline? It is just taking this 20 out of here, what we have put in here, and doing this calculation, parsing it, and then finally assigning it into the length variable, right? The next, enter the width of rectangle. So let me type in 10. So same thing is happening here, in dot readline, but this time this is width, and it is assigning into the width array, variable. And if I do this, rest the thing is same. We are just sending these to this method as a function argument, and let's see. Yes, the area of rectangle is 200. So basically after that, the process is same which we have seen in the previous example. So basically the only difference is in the first example, we have provided hard-coded values as a part of the function argument. Here we have providing them as a part of function argument, but there is another way to input them. The input way is not hard-coding, not keeping them in the program, but accepting it from the user via the console. So that is what just now we have seen, how we can input with the help of InputStreamReader and buffer reader. Okay, so we are done with this. So let's come to our third slide, which is nothing but the using scanner class. So if you see, I have in these slides, I have just tried giving a kind of picture here so that you can better associate them what we are actually trying to say in the slide. So now scanner class. So scanner class also does the same thing what InputStreamReader does, but it's just merely a different way in Java to provide input. Remember, I'm saying this line again and again. If all of these ways are doing the same thing, but there are different ways. Let's suppose you want to go. It's a similar like, you want to go from one place to another way. There could be 100 routes, 100 ways to reach between two destinations. So that is why the ultimate goal is same to provide inputs, but there are different ways. So right now we are looking at by using scanner class. So again, scanner class is available in java.util package, right? And in order to access input via the scanner class, we need the object of scanner class, just one object we need. And then we can use method like next line, next int, etc. There may be some more methods. So let's go and look at the example how we can really access the inputs via scanner class. So in order to show you guys this, right now I have not created any program here in my IDE, this editor here, but I will open a website, and you guys can, I will post a link of this website. This is nothing w3schools.com, and you can find another Java related learning here. It's a very good website, and you can practice here. You can just read about them, what are those, and at the same time you can just practice them. So that is why I did not created this program here, but I would wanted to show you guys so that you can learn. And even though there are a lot of other programming language here, if you see CSS, JavaScript, SQL, Python, PHP, so they have a very nice way of teaching programming languages, and at the same time you can practice them right here as well. So I came here, Java input. So if they are using here the scanner class, I click on run example, right? So you can just practice here on the browser as well. You don't have to install Java. Okay. So if you come here, let's look at the scanner class. It's the same thing, my class. You are free to give any class. And this is public static void main method. Okay, we already know here. So this is what we are interested in. Scanner. What we are doing is we have created an object of scanner class, right? And scanner class is a part of Java util package. That is why we have imported it on the top. You can see here, import the scanner class. There is a comment also here, single line comment, which we have learned in our last video. So we have created the object of scanner class, and we have given the object name as my obj. You are free to give anything. Then we have a string of username, right? And it's a similar like here, system.out enter username. So it's trying to ask user enter username, and then username is nothing but obj.nextLine. So whatever user will put in here in this console, it will take that and put it in the username variable. It's exactly the same thing what we have done here in for InputStreamReader and BufferReader. It's exactly the same thing, but here we are able to achieve that with the use of just single one class that is nothing but scanner class. And then finally we are basically displaying the username here. So enter username, I go and type here my name. Okay. Let me just refresh it. Okay, it's here. Digvijay, and I say username is Digvijay. So whatever I have inputted, program has calculated that, and then finally showing the output over here. So this is how we provide an input to our program by using the scanner class. So let's come back to our slide and let's discuss about the final way of providing inputs to our Java program. That is nothing but using command line argument. So this is kind of, we are already familiar. I will show you why I am saying we may already be familiar about it. So the way it is by using main functions. So in every class we are seeing this main function, which is nothing but has a string array type args. We are already seeing it. So we can use this arg string array in order to have input from the users, and whatever input we have, data type needs to be converted if not string. So as again, I'm saying it again, by default, whatever user provide in the command line that will be the string. But if you expect it to have an integer, you will have to do integer.parseInt so that making sure it is finally coming out as an integer value, right? So I have not created any further program for it, but you can just simply, I can give you the idea how do you have it. So basically you have to just write the same program the way it is, right? There is absolutely no change here, but instead of having this method here, I'm just going to comment them out and access them through the command line. So if I want to access them through the command line, what I'll have, so you see this args. So when our program gets started, this main method, it already has an input args, string args array. So args nothing but a string type array. So you can just simply go here and access the first index. Okay, so maybe it's we have to basically, okay. So basically right now I'm taking it as a length, and later on we can just, I told you, right? In this slide, data types need to be converted if not string. So basically it's a string type of array, everything will be getting converted to the string. So later on we'll convert this into the integer. Further we'll convert this to the integer, right? So but yeah, it'll come like this. And similarly you can have another okay, let me just string width equals to args2 args1. Yeah, so you see here what I'm trying to do here, we are not providing 25 and 10 right now in the program, but we are trying to get them through the string args array. And I'm saying it again, by default these will be string, but later on before finalizing this one, you will have to convert them into the string. Okay, so so this is how you do it. But finally, I do not have the command line terminal open here right now, but this is how the program will look like. And ultimately when you run the program, this is how you have to give. So how to run Java program via command line argument? There is a command you have to go through. You have to type like Java, right? And then give a class name, right? And then give the length, whatever you want, like 20 space 15. So whenever you run the program, right now I do not run my program through the command line, but anytime you have a need to run your program via command line, this is how you should be taking it, right? You will have a name as Java here, and then you can give the area of shape if let's suppose it's a same class, and then first argument and second argument. So what will eventually happen? Program comes here, right, through the args. So at a point of 0, it comes here. So whatever you have 20, it comes here 0th location. Whatever you have is 15, it comes as the first location. And fine, and again it has to be converted into the integer value, and that is how this program will be able to calculate values through the command line. So basically, in short, the program will stay same, only you have to deal with inputs a little different. You have to get it out of the string args array, which is nothing but a part of main program. So you can practice it if you have a terminal available. So this is how you will have to do the programming there. So in short, right, just now we have looked at the 4 different ways to have input provided to our Java program. So these are basically the 4 different ways. Whichever best suits you, that is, you can go ahead with that, and you have to learn all of them, that how they actually work, and then find the best out of them and then use it in your programming language. So that is all about these 4 ways of providing inputs in Java. That's all for today. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, Pick Up Pencil. So that's all for today. See you next time. Thank you.